Hello and welcome back to another episode of Super Spurs. Today's matchup is going to be taking on Crystal Palace. Now I know what you're thinking. You said you weren't going to do this game. It's too important. It's too important to just kind of brush off and come back in the next episode and just go, yeah, well, we finished here. It's the final game of the season. It's us versus Everton in order to take on the second place. Everton will be playing away against Watford. We are away against Palace. If West Brom win against Leicester, there's a chance that we could relegate Crystal Palace. So that's an interesting obviously turn on the game as well, not just purely looking at our point of view. The team is ready and set to go. I will explain my reasons for the changes and the players we've got in 3 days' time, because today's game is on Sunday. We've got Valencia in the Europa League final. That, for me, is the most important thing. You can sit back and go, oh well, yeah, but we finished second, we finished third. This is the be and end all. Winning trophies is what matters. That is the big thing that you look back on, either as a player or as a manager or someone who plays Football Manager. You go, I won this, not I finished second. So we've got to put the best team out for that game. You're probably seeing some of the players from there, although it's a bit blurry at the moment, who are in. We'll have a look at the Palace team to see how we can get on. Now, because of injuries, I haven't been able to drop everyone, which is a shame. But for today's team, we're playing Hugo Lloris in goal. I didn't feel confident enough with Glover to come in and replace him. Glover is probably going to be got rid of in the summer, to be honest, but we'll come into that in another video. So we've got Kyle Walker, Weimer, Suleiman gets another chance at centre back, Ben Davis. Now Ben Taleb and Ryan Mason in the middle, you would say arguably are probably two of our best players in terms of centre midfield positions, but because Dele Alli still continues to be injured, I'm going to look to try and make a couple of subs around that later on in the match, just to keep those two both fresh and Eric Dyer fresh at the same time. So Ben Taleb, Mason, and the front four of Gray, Andrew Dazelle, Andros Townsend, and Zach Clough. So we've got a good bench. The first team's probably not the best we can put out, but I'm still confident enough. We've got some good players there, there's good options on the bench. Palace start with McCarthy, Sawyer, Holick, Mariappa, and Ward, Ledley, and Cabai. So there's a good, strong partnership in the middle there. Balassi, Jason Punchin, Zaha, and Connor Wickham. So a good front four. We're in for a good game here. This should be a good matchup. Now, I'm going to say I expect nothing from a win from this. Let's try and boost up. I don't normally do these talks, and that's the reason why, because no one pays much attention to me. But before we get going in today's matchup, let's bring up the latest scores and the league table. Let's bung them over onto this side and see how we're getting on. We'll focus on the relegation part of it later on, but the first thing is to make sure that we are in a commanding position against Everton. They're playing Watford, who are currently, I believe, in 10th place, I think, but I'll have a look at that in a minute. But first chance of the game goes to Palace. Connor Wickham back to Jason Punchin. Good save. No one's there for the rebound, and we're 1-0 down after 2 minutes. Everton go above us. Not good. 2 games in a row now we've conceded a goal in the opening 5 minutes. It's incredibly disappointing. And this time, defenders just going absolutely walkabouts. Hugo Lloris makes a good, well, I would say a good save. He's completely parried it back into Balassi's path there, but that's annoying. But we're back on the attack now. Andrew Dazelle, what could he do? Plays it back over to Townsend. Dazelle, oh, he's had 2 good chances. Dazelle's had 2 great opportunities there, and both times the goalkeeper's made a save. I think with the amount of pace that they've got, we've got to start trying to retain some of this possession. They're a very, very good counter-attacking team. I'll give them that. So far, the game is still 0-0 against Everton for Watford. The scores keep changing at the moment, so I'm going to try and put as much attention on this game. West Brom are also losing, which means that Palace, as things stand, I mean, well, even if they lost this game, they'd still be safe. But Bolassi's on the ball, cuts inside and makes a good effort, but completely wide. So, a bit of a let-off there for us. The players just aren't responding. There's just not an awful lot kind of happening in this game. Damari Gray and Zach Clough aren't having good games. Neither is Ben Davis. But Watford have just taken the lead. Absolutely fantastic stuff. You can't see it because my blooming assistant is talking. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. But yeah, so Watford are winning. I'm going to aggressively say, come on lads, show me some blooming effort. Oh, they seem pumped. They seem psyched up. That's good. That's a lot better. Let's go on to standard formation and try and balance this game out. The Crystal Palace are doing well in terms of shots, in terms of possession, shots on target. You know, they've got more energy about them. We're just not doing enough. But Townsend here gets tackled, and that's a good start to the game. Nothing's going to come of it because it's Football Manager. Nothing ever does from the first highlight. Dazelle, his corner gets cleared and cleared again. So, as things stand, with both us and Everton losing, we are currently in second place. But football can all change, so we need to get ourselves a goal here to really put ourselves on the upper foot. But Zaha has just tapped in, and we're losing 2-0. Is that Damari Gray? Not tracking his man. Sawyer with a good ball in. And who's that not tracking his man? It's Ben Davis. And Zaha's just there at the back post with an easy tap in. So unless we could dramatically change this game around, we are now relying on Watford, who've got themselves a second goal. Watford are losing, Watford are winning 2-0 rather. It's time to make some subs. Let's get some changes going. Ryan Mason's looking a bit tired, isn't having the best of games. So I'm going to swap him with Dyer. I need to keep people like Ryan Mason fit if I possibly can, just because we've got a massive game coming up. Zach Clough's not having a good game, so I'm going to bring Harry Kane on. Oh, if Harry Kane gets injured now, I'm going to majorly regret this, aren't I? I don't know if you could tell from my voice, I'm still not feeling 100% at the moment. I'm still feeling all bunged up and horrible, but we're powering on. This cold has been with me for the last 3 or 4 days now, ever since New Year's. It's not a good start. But anyway, let's concentrate back on the game, James. Come on. So, Everton still losing 2-0. We are losing 2-0. So as things stand, Palace stay up, we finish in second. We've just had the ball intercepted, and now Zaha is going to come forward here with Shamak. Plays it through to Punchin. All the way back to Holick. He plays it inside to Kubai, to Shamak, to Balassi. Weimer with a good tackle. Shamak has scored, and we're 3-0 down. What an awful way to end the season. I always knew that there was a risk making this many changes. That there is. Let's face it. There's a lot of players in this so-called backup team which are going to have to either go out on loan or going to be sold. I want to make and buy a lot more English players and really develop some of my youth team, but I'll go more into that in a bit of an end-of-season preview. I've already got a bit of an idea about who's going to be staying and who's going to go. But, there's some good players, English players in this team, but there's a lot of players as well who are playing, people like Hugo Lloris, for example, Bentaleb, Song. We've got people like Lamella, who are doing really, really well. And it's going to be difficult to try and replace those with an English player who's ready and raring to go, who's not going to cost that much, because you know, as soon as you try to buy someone who's English, the prices of them just go up ridiculously. So, that's something we've got to be wary about. But anyway, on to the good news. We have finished in second place. By no means at all convincing. That was not a good way to end the season. We've managed to lose 10 games and still finish in second. Just incredible. We've hardly had any draws, but we get second place with a 4-goal swing. So that will wrap things up for today. If you've liked listening to my misery and me moaning, then please give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, comment on the video, follow me on Twitter, all the normal things. Follow me, as the details are in the description down below. Next game's massive. I really, really hope you can join me for that. It's the biggest game of the season by a country mile. Until that video and until next time, adios.